I have now developed a tool to help you find the best mountain biking trails to ride and to plan an awesome vacation. But before I get to that, I need to provide some background first. When I go to ride a new region on my mountain bike, I usually have a hard time finding the best trails to ride. I usually start with the higher ranked trails as listed by Trailforks, MTB Project, or Singletracks. But while these trails are usually the most popular, frequently they aren't to my liking and I leave disappointed. I find that popularity is frequently not a good criteria. It's typically due to them being located close to a major city. But what do you do if you want to ride somewhere less busy? Some of the best trails I've ever ridden aren't all that popular. They're often in remote areas or not surrounded by major cities. In fact, the trails I'm showing you right now are on none of these recommended trail lists. Also, most of the so-called popular trails are intermediate flow trails, and I'm looking for something more special. A case in point is my road trip to Colorado last summer when I rode 34 new trails, mostly on highly recommended trails by either MTB Project or Singletracks. But probably less than half of these trails were all that good. It was quite disappointing. In fact, only 8 of these trails were video worthy. I know Colorado has some fabulous trails, but I still haven't found many of them. When I arrive at a new destination, I also head to a local bike shop and ask for their advice on the best trails to ride. But this is also hit and miss. I find I'm frequently directed to either the most popular trails or trails that don't sufficiently meet my criteria. I generally prefer scenic and technically challenging trails. Lastly, I also follow a number of YouTube mountain bikers and make note of their more interesting trails that they ride. I find that watching them ride the trail helps me to really appreciate whether this is a suitable trail for me. If so, I put the trail on my wish list that can be saved on my Trailforks account. Then I can revert to this wish list when I plan a vacation to a new region. And so now, even after all this research, I find that the only way to avoid a disappointing ride is to actually watch a video of the trail. And so this is where my new tool comes into play. I've now created a Google map with hot links to all of my YouTube videos, nearly 200 videos covering close to 1,000 trails. This map, which is hosted on my Ron's World website, will enable you to zoom into a specific region that you can plan to ride and easily watch each of these videos of my rides. Here, let me show you. First, go to ronsworld.ca and then over to the Top 100 Trails List tab. Now scroll down to the Map of the MTB Trails tab and press Enter. Then scroll down the page until you see the Google Map window. From here, you can zoom into the area you want to ride. For example, I'll show you the trails around Moab. Now let's look for my video on the Captain Ahab Trail. Up pops a new window from where you can now watch the video. Let me get a little edgy in here. Maybe this trail looks too hard, so let's back out of the video and search for the Navajo Rocks region. And watch the video of the intermediate level, Rocky Tops, and Ramblin' Trails. Maybe we're also planning to ride in Sedona, so let's go search over there. Let's look at 2 of my favorites, the Slim Shady Trail and the Hogs Trails. You can also watch these videos in the full screen on the YouTube platform by clicking on the YouTube icon at the bottom right of the window. Now, lastly, I like to camp near many of these trails, and so have also added a layer to the Google Map, where you can click on this layer to show all the campsites I've stayed at. For this, we need to go back to the Huron's World Google Map and expand the window. Now you will see the panel at the left with the box to click on the provincial, state, campground layer. And let's zoom back to the Sedona region and see what campsites are available nearby. There's the Cave Springs Campground, the Manzanita Campground, or the Dead Horse State Park Campground. Let's click on this one and see the details to the campground. From here, you can directly book a campsite. Very simple and incredibly convenient. I hope you find this tool helpful to plan your next mountain bike vacation. Now go start planning. And while you're looking at my video map, maybe you also want to investigate my list of the top 100 MTB trails and the related top 10 trails for each of Arizona, British Columbia, Colorado, and Utah. Each is outlined on my website as shown. From this list, you can also click on the hot link to see the associated YouTube video. In a future map enhancement, I'll also add layers of my favorite coffee shops for your morning coffee and pubs for your après-ride refreshments. I hope you find this helpful. And going forward, I'll continue to add new videos to this map as I explore new trails and new campgrounds. Once again, I have very ambitious plans for 2023. I'm hoping to explore more new trails in Oregon, California, Arizona, Utah, and Colorado this coming summer, so please stay tuned. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.